What's going on, everybody? We are back for round 2 of Sidewall Jedi Answers Reddit. Today we are looking at the Stick Doctor Reddit, and honestly, this is absolutely fantastic. I love this one. I actually already responded to this post on Reddit itself in text, but I thought I would share it with you because I think it's really cool. Okay, my attempt at stringing this old pinched aviate to the inside, ... I am obsessed with how smooth the channel came out. As you can see here, picture number 1, this thing looks fantastic. This is what I would categorize as definitely a mid-high pocket, not any higher than that. Probably will shift down a little bit mid once you really start playing with it. My initial response to this post was, this looks awesome. How's it throw? JC Reyes, 1214 is the original poster. He says, feels like it's almost on par with modern heads. Only inconsistency probably comes from the head not being super stiff to begin with, but compared to what it originally was, the thing is a beast. I totally agree. This head looks awesome. There's a couple other posters. Somebody says gorgeous. Somebody says, wow, that is a nice high pocket. Mid-high, it's definitely not high. It could definitely be higher and still be functional. Impressive that you were able to do this on a head like that. So this is really interesting. Now I've been looking at the third image here. You look at the fourth image, it definitely looks a little bit more mid-high. That itself, mid/mid-high, is a pocket shape and placement of in itself. Here you're looking at the long way, image number 5. You can see how the way when you're stringing to the inside, how narrow the channel is. By that, how much mesh is going to be a ball, how much the channel itself is going to just grip onto the ball itself. Moving on to image number 8. Again, this looks good. I love that there's only one shooter in this. When you string to the inside, throughout the length of the pocket itself, the channel will generally be narrower, and that is going to affect where you're going to be able to put your strings. You're not going to be able to put the same shooting string setup that you might like in a stick strung to the inside as it is stuck standard or to the outside, because if the channel is narrower throughout even the entire course of it, a traditional shooting string setup will give you way too much grab, way too much delay on the release. Looking on to number 7, you can see a little bit, if you zoom in on number 7, you can see how I don't think it would become an issue with this stick unless you're trying to literally get the ball to like flip and drop. If you're going like this and you try to get it to drop right out the middle, the mesh, this looks like type 3, I think. The mesh itself is a little bit thicker, so you can see how the ball might get stuck in the middle, but it looks like it'll roll out the bottom. It looks like if you do your traditional roll out the front, roll out the back, it'll be fine, but if you try to flip it over, that ball might get caught in there. Hopefully not. Hopefully that won't be an issue. Looking at that 8 photo, you get another view of how much bunching up the mesh like this. This looks like it's kind of hard to tell from the photos. Right there in the middle of the pocket, it looks like inside interlock +2. Whatever works. Performance is always number 1. Whatever gives you the pocket that lets you be confident and perform at the highest levels, while is also legal depth-wise and stick check-wise, that's what we're going for. The most important thing that I really want to discuss with this is a perfect example of it's not about the head. The head that you are using is not nearly as important as how good the string job is in the head. An awesome new head. You got a new Lakota 3, you've got a Stallion 900, you've got a Tactic 2.0, a Kinetic 2.0, QXO, XPO right here. This one's going to be for Ryan Brown. You can have the best head in the world. If the string job sucks, that stick will not perform. Whereas I would give every single kid on my team here at Harvard or any college team that I have worked with, I would give them well-strung aviates over, well, in this case, in comparison, over factory strung anything by anybody, because there is no good factory stringing. String King is by far the best from a factory strung perspective. I know those guys. I've talked to those guys. They do a great job. They've got people who care that are doing these stringings. Shout out to Oscar Reyes. So that's the biggest thing that I wanted to talk about today. The stringing matters. How well your stick is strung is way more important than what kind of head you are using. Yes, there is some give and take there, but generally we're talking about picking up ground balls and throwing and catching. That's where I'm going for in this. I'm not talking about playing at the professional level. This obviously applies to younger players pretty much up through high school. Once you get to college and once you get to the pros, the head that you use matters depending upon the situation, but I'm focusing on throwing and catching. The pocket is far more important than the head you're using. Thank you very much. So let's see, this is going to be going on YouTube in addition to a number of other platforms. So like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments. I want to answer. That was annoying, but we're going to leave it in. Thank you, and I will catch you in the next Sidewall Jedi Answers Reddit.